Good afternoon. It is Tuesday, January 31st, and it is the last day of the month. I slept. I really slept. I feel good. My mood right now versus where I was yesterday are like, I can't say it's completely opposite because that would be a lie, but the feeling of not necessarily overcoming one obstacle, but climbing down the ladder from one thing to another. If you've ever been afraid of heights and you had to go on a really, really high tower or climb a high ladder, you climb it and you're saying, I know I'm fearful, but maybe I'm overreacting, and you keep climbing and you keep climbing and your body's freaking out, but you make it to the top and you see this beautiful view. And sometimes you forget that you're even in fear. But when you start climbing down, security comes back because now you know you're going back to the ground. You know that you're not up there. And that analogy for me is kind of like, on one side, I am afraid of heights, but I still go up things that are really high. And I tell my brain, like, if this amenity exists and it was created by people with experience and knowledge, then therefore I should be fine. Like, there's other people going up too. I'll be okay. And I freak out. And I get to the top and I'm like, oh, this is nice. And I remember I still have to get down. So on my way down, sometimes it's a mixture of like victory because I got to go up. And then by the time I make it down, I'm happy because I've overcome something. And if I never try it again, I'm okay. But if I try it again, then at least I know that I'm giving it another chance. And I'm saying this because yesterday felt like I was at the top of a tower and there was no ledge, there was no one to catch me. Like, it was just the weirdest feeling inside. And even when they gave me medication, my brain started to like panic even more, which made no sense because to them, I could barely hear what they're saying because everything was faint. But I think because they see things like this all the time, they can rule out certain things. But because legally they can't rule out certain things just in speech without further testing, that's why they have to fully take a person in for the doctors, for the machines and everything. So I remember them asking me if this happened before, and I do recall my first ever ambulance ride, and I thought this should never happen to me again. And it was exactly 12 years ago, which is so bizarre. And I saw online, like, people maybe are quick to judge without knowing things or without doing research or without having sympathy. But when Kanye West started going through the problems that he was going through, it became like a laughing matter for a lot of people. And for some that have never really experienced certain traumas, we can't say that we can all relate to each other, because we can't. Like, we face problems that might be similar, but they're very, very different. And In one interview, I remember him saying, like, every single November during the month of his mom's death anniversary, he has really bad panics, like really, really bad panics. And I didn't really watch all of it, but I just know, like, in a way, I am the same. And some of those panics, when they come, it's like, it's so unexpected, because you could be having the happiest day ever. You could be just going for a walk, and all of a sudden, like, shock comes. And you might not even be thinking about the person that died, but it's just something comes into your body subconsciously, and it just takes over everything that you're doing. And so, for me, there's lots and lots and lots. And some I just don't feel comfortable mentioning, because when the time is ready, the time will come. But some panics, I feel like I can control, and I do my best to control. And others, being the main two that I've now had, I felt defeated. Like, I didn't even, every breathing exercise you've ever been taught, every rational thought you've ever been taught, like nothing. I couldn't come to, like, nothing. So, looking back, did I have moments where I wish, like, I can control this? No. When they usually happen, do I control them? Yeah, and that's why I'm not, sad and down and out about it. I control it. I control myself. I go back to being okay. So yesterday I had to accept that I'm not in control. I am not in control. And I have to live with that, because I don't know how long they'll keep happening, and I don't know if this is the beginning of them getting worse, or if it's the beginning of me getting better. I don't know. All I know is that my day-to-day, I have to keep control of that, because day-to-day I have a good life. And you guys have seen that. You know that. I have a good life. I have a lot of first world problems, but I have a good life. I like my peers. I love my family. I like my jobs. Like, I'm healthy. In the higher percentile of healthy people, I'm quite healthy. I'm quite healthy. And I keep those things in mind every single time when I pray, every single time when others are going through bad things. I consider myself to be a very, very lucky and blessed person. And that's probably one of the main reasons why I'm able to get through all of the bad things that happen to me, is because I recognize the good rather than focus on the bad. And I recognize, I guess, longevity, because I want to be old. I know sometimes I freak out and I say, oh my God, like, I'm going to die young. But I'm like, nah. I want to be old. Like, old. When I was, like, a teenager, I used to think that being 30 would mean that I would, like, die, because 30 was old. Your girl's getting to 30 in a few months. And I'm like, did I subconsciously bring up some crazy ass omens that are now manifesting themselves through all these panics, and I'm freaking get a heart attack? But I try not to think about that, because for a long time as a teenager, I just thought 30 was old, and at 30 you would die. But as I get close to 30, I'm like, I have a long life ahead of me and I'm doing a lot to stay healthy. So here's to more life. Yeah, I'm just headed to go get a few things out of storage, and then I'll go to the gym, or get food first and then the gym. And then after that, I will see how the evening goes. So I would like to thank everyone that reached out to me. Sincerely. You guys all know I hate pity parties, but I was weak yesterday, and I have to admit, like, I was weak. I was weak. Like, certain emotions people can hide, but when I'm weak, I can't hide. I cannot hide, and so it manifested itself. I couldn't just throw in my nice curly wig, do my makeup, and start doing my finance video. I couldn't. I wanted to reflect on what was real, and that was that I was broken. At least I felt broken. And to top it off, you know when it's the time of the month and emotions are high? I kind of feel like that's probably why everything was heightened, because your girl barely cries, but when it's like the day before my period, I am so emotional. So if we can void everything that happened yesterday and just blame it on hormones, I'll go with that. Because right now the river's flowing red and it's a lot. Sorry to put that out there, but yeah, everybody knows that the day before is just not the best day. And some decisions that are made when a female's menstruating should not be taken seriously, because it's not who we are. So if this was a hormone-induced panic attack mixed with trauma and everyday life, let's accept it and move on. But otherwise, let's get back to regular scheduling and find a therapist. In a weird way, I like doing these YouTube videos because, I mean, I don't want this video to trail on, but I will explain later how I tried getting therapy one time and it didn't work. So, yeah. Again, thank you. Guys, I just woke up. I haven't put on lotion because I'm going to the pool, so I didn't realize how ashy and disgusting I look. And I just saw myself in the camera. Oh my God. But it's okay. Like I said, first world problems. If my skin is glowing, I have a warm jacket, I have wheels under me, and I'm going places, so we're not gonna stress. We're not gonna stress about that. My stress, I think, just comes from deep subconscious things that haven't been tapped yet, or they've been tapped. It's just they're maybe just slowly coming to the surface as I get older, because there's more and more things happening to trigger them. And maybe I might get more emotional as I get older, because before, when I was a teenager, I was ruthless. I didn't even care about anything. I was just like meh, because I never gave time of day to these emotions. I never even knew how. I was just going on about my life. And then freaking, not to blame my brother, but because that's not fair, but things have just gotten worse after he left, so I can't really blame him because that's not fair. I continue to find strength through the loss, and if he was here, he would not blame him. So it's kind of like we're not really talking bad about him. God bless his soul. But yeah, the last 2 years have been quite a mess emotionally, to say the least. And it's crazy because it's like it's a big mess, but then it's like balanced with like goodness, because like I said, I have to focus on the good. I have to focus on the good. Yeah. Pray for February. February's a good month, because with the way calendars go, if January fails, then February's there, and we still have 11 more to go. So I'm not too worried, because I know progress is only on the way up, even though there'll be downs, but at least we just follow the charts. Eventually the charts just keep going. So yeah, thank you to everyone that watches my videos. Thank you to the new subscribers. I notice you. Thank you to everyone that, even though you don't tell me you're looking out for me, but you are. That's good. Thank you for those who are sensitive to certain things that are going on in my life. Thank you to those that give me input, even when I don't ask, because not everybody's able to ask for help when they're in certain situations. But when help comes, I accept it. Whether I already know the information or not, I accept it. So just know that I have a really good circle around me. I appreciate all those in that circle. And I pray that the circle continues to be great, because we're only moving up. And we're only going to get better with time. So stay strong in your pursuits of life. Stay healthy in the things that you're doing to stay alive. Tap into the things that might be a bother, and see what you can do to minimize stress. And I think together we can all make it through. It's just a day at a time of believing that we can. And then when these situations arise, at least we know we have the right tools, the right facilities, the right people, and then we can make it through. So looking for a therapist. I have a funny story about when I was looking for a therapist last time. It's actually been 2 times. We'll talk about it another day. Holy Jesus. Yeah. Allowing myself to cry. I really didn't think we're bringing tears in 2023. I don't know why I'm so naive sometimes to think we're going to have a happy year. I'm not going to go to the hospital. And bam, before the year ends, your girl's in a freaking ambulance. Oh, it felt like a freaking movie. So much for no tears in 2023. I've shed them. And I've shed a lot. A lot. The other day I cried so much, you guys. I tried to eat. I had no water in my mouth. Oh my God. Like, that's when you know you've had a good crying session, and things didn't get better. So here we are on the road to greatness. I'm going to stop this video here, and we can talk later. And you guys know I'm a positive person, so I am going to get positive. And God bless you. Till next time. Bye.